All right, let's start today's article describing this wonderful man. It says, with his bold dance moves, chart-topping hits, and striking fashion choices, Michael Jackson earned the title King of Pop. Of course he did. All right, well, let's find out about these things that make Michael Jackson who he was. It says bold dance moves. Now, this adjective bold means confident and determined, or done in a way that shows you're not afraid of taking risks or making decisions. Now, when we use bold to talk about colors, we're saying that they're bright and easy to see. Now, we can almost say that about dance moves when we use the word bold. We're not saying that they are bright colors, but that they're easily noticeable because they're strong or confident. Here's an example. The company made a bold move by charging so much money for its latest phone.
Okay, 所以 bold 就是大胆、无畏的意思哦，所以 bold dance move 就是大胆的舞步的意思。那 it can also mean not shy or almost rude。我们也可以说一个人很鲁莽、粗鲁，也可以用 bold 这个词。好，所以我们来看几个句子哦。第一个句子 ，She always gets a little bold after she's had a few drinks。她喝酒之后总是会有一点大胆。Or it was bold of you to say such a thing。你说那样的话很无理。It was rude of you to say that。And when we type or print in thick dark letters, we also say in bold， 就是有粗体的意思，或者是黑体，很好看见的。所以我们就可以说啊。All the sentences have to be printed in bold， 就是所有的句子都要用粗黑体印出来。And we also see chart topping in our last sentence. And when something is chart topping, it means that it's very popular or it's coming top in the charts， 就是有排行榜第一名，最畅销。那么 hits 就是畅销歌曲。
Like on the billboard. Yeah. Okay, so top of the charts, chart topping. Now, we also use the adjective striking fashion choices. Now, this word just means interesting or unusual enough to be noticed.
Yeah, so striking 就是非常惊人、引人注目的意思。
All right, so we know who we're talking about. Let's keep going here. It says, today, many people look upon the star as the greatest performer to ever live.
So 我们看到我们刚刚的 grammar point， 我们是 look upon somebody as something， 就是把人认为什么，把 A 视为 B 的意思。那我们除了这样，也可以用 see, view, or regard somebody, or think of somebody as something 都可以。那如果主词是 somebody, people, they 等不定特定的对象的时候，我们也可以用被动式哦。所以刚刚 Aaron 老师提到的句子啊 ，Many people look upon the star as the greatest performer to ever live， 意思就是很多人把这位巨星视为是史上最伟大的表演家。所以除了用 look upon A as B， 我们刚刚也说到用其他字嘛。So for example, let's make a few sentences. We can say Frit's teacher regards him as the smartest student of the class， 就是老师呢。把 Fritz 视为是全班最聪明的学生哦。那我们也可以用被动式，刚刚说可以说 Fritz is regarded as the smartest student by his teacher， 这样也是 OK 的。Or why do you view me as an enemy？ 你怎么把我当成敌人了呢 ？View somebody as something。
All right, so we said in that sentence that many people look upon Michael Jackson as one of the greatest performers or the greatest performer to ever live. Now, before we continue, let's go over what a performer is.
So a performer is somebody that performs. 就是 that entertains some other people with by dancing, singing or acting 之类的，就是表演者的意思。那所以 Michael 啦，他的作品除了音乐以外，还有其他视觉的表演，所以单纯叫他 singer 有点不公平，所以我们就是说 performer。
Okay, so let's find out why we're talking about Michael today. It says here, this year marks what would have been the talented musician's 60th birthday.
对啊，所以如果这个伟大的巨星还在 if he was still alive， 今年就是他的60大寿哎。
That's right. That's why we used would have been. All right, now here it says in the article, thus, there's no better time to honor the man who changed the music world forever.
And let's keep reading to find out how he changed the music world.
All right, it says here, Michael's journey as a musician had an early start. Now, what we mean by an early start is that he actually became a musician when he was very young. He was actually just a young boy. Now, we use the phrase early start to show that someone is very young when they first start doing something.
所以 early start 就是说一大早就就是很早就开始做事哦。那不过这边用来形容 Michael 年纪很小的时候就开始了他的音乐生涯。
All right, so I don't know if all of our students would know this, but he was just a young boy, and it says here what he did. He says he first amazed fans as part of the Jackson 5 in 1964. So that's way back. All right, now if you haven't listened to the Jackson 4, you should go out and listen to them. They've got this great song about your ABCs. All right, but we saw that he amazed fans. Now here we're using amaze as a verb. When you amaze someone, you surprise that person very much, especially because of a talent, an ability, or a very good feature. For example, Theo amazed me with his surfing skills. He surfs so well.
所以 amaze 就是使谁大吃一惊或者是很惊艳的意思。We can say what amazes me is that, or it amazes me that. 所以我们可以来看一下下面几个句子哦。For example, the first one, what amazes me is that they never get tired. 就是让我惊讶是他们从来都不会累耶。And it looks like the word amazing, right? Which is the adjective of this word. So we use amazing to describe things that are extremely surprising or very good. So we can say, this week has been amazing. 这周真是棒极了。And of course, the noun is amazement.
So, Michael was in the Jackson 5, and if you don't know the Jackson 5, that's actually his brothers and sisters. You might know Janet Jackson, Tito Jackson, so many Jacksons out there. All right, but so he was in the Jackson 5 for a few years, and then he moved on. It says here, after 5 years, however, he left the group to begin a solo career. Now, what we mean by career here is a job that you have been trained to do, and it's often a job that you do over a long period of time. So he wasn't just a singer for a few years and then he got another job. He was a singer for his whole life. Here's another example. Tabby went to university for almost 10 years to prepare for a career in medicine.
所以 career 就是事业啊、生涯的意思。It's usually used as a noun. So we can say she refused to abandon her career for marriage. 她不会为了结婚之后就放弃她的事业。Or Caitlin's career as a journalist was full of achievements. 就是 Caitlin 当记者的生涯充满了很多成就。And when it's used as an adjective, it means you spend most of your working life in the same field. 就是有职业的意思，你花大部分时间或你全部的时间在某一份工作上面。So for instance, we can say he's a career diplomat. 他是职业的外交家。
Exactly. Now, we did describe the word career with an adjective in that sentence. We said he started a solo career. So let's find out what we mean by that.
So solo 在名词前面就是形容词哦，那表示单独的、独自的意思。不过它也可以当名词用，就表示音乐表演独奏的部分。
Okay, so he was in the Jackson 5, now he's moved on, he's got this solo career, and here's what happened after that. It says, this move started Michael on a path to becoming one of the most high-profile stars in the music industry.
So high profile 就是引人注目的意思 ，profile 可以当形象的意思，所以 high profile 就是很高的形象嘛。
That's like another way of saying famous, I think. Yes, he's a celebrity or a famous person. All right, so here's what happened when he started being this more high-profile musician. It says he started breaking records with his 1982 release of Thriller.
Thriller.
Okay, so in that sentence, we saw that he started breaking records. Here, record is a noun. That's why we say record and not record. Okay, so when you break a record or when you make a record, you are making the fastest time or the fastest speed, the most albums sold or something like that. Basically, a record in this case is the best or most of something done, usually in sports or music, that's done by a particular person or team. So the records Michael Jackson was breaking here are the ones for most albums sold or best-selling songs, that sort of thing. Here's another example. Pete broke the record for fastest runner ever at his school at sports day today.
所以 record 就是记录的意思哦。那我们英文里面说打破记录就可以直接说 break records。那 the word record here is used as a noun, but we can also use it as a verb. And when it's used as a verb, it's pronounced as record, which means to keep information by writing it down or to put sounds onto a computer using electronic equipment, so that they can be heard or seen. 所以我们可以看到录，就是我们手机在录啊，或者是用电脑在录，都可以用 record 录制的意思。And let's take a look at a few sentences here. We can say, you should learn to keep a record of your daily expenses. 你应该试着记下你的生活开销。Or the conversation was recorded on the tape. 对话被录在录音带里面了。And sometimes we can also use this word as an adjective, 就是有空前、史上未有的意思哦。For instance, we can say, the farmers are celebrating for a record harvest this year. 农夫们为了今年的丰收非常的庆祝，他们在庆祝美满的丰收。
All right, so as an adjective, record is also pronounced record. Okay. All right, so we saw that Michael Jackson was breaking records with his release of an album. Now this release here, it's noun. When you release a new song, album, or video, you make it available for the public or to listen to or see, right? So that's how we use it as a verb, but as a noun, the release is the album, okay? Or as a noun, the release is the album. It's what the album, this Thriller, that's his release, okay? All right, so as a verb, we could say, do you know when Taylor Swift will release her new song? Or we could also say, this release will be out on the 14th.
So release 就是有发行的意思。It can be both the noun and the verb. 刚刚Aaron老师都说过了，就是除了发行的意思，但当动词有发行或释放的意思，名词也有。但是名词 release 当名词的时候，就像是一张专辑，它的发行当名词。Alright, so let's take a look at our first sentence. We can say the singer has just released his second album. 这边就是当动词嘛，歌手才刚刚发行了他第二张专辑。And let's make another sentence using this word as a verb. Yeah, we can say he slammed the door to release his anger. 就是这边变释放的意思 to vent out somebody's emotions. 去释放他的怒气。Or 如果用成名词的时候，我们就可以说 The film is scheduled for release tomorrow. 就是这个电影预定明天发行。刚刚老师有提到。
All right, well, let's find out. That was back then. That was in the 1980s when he released that record. But let's find out what's happening today. It says, to this day, the album remains the best-selling album of all time. Now, we said of all time here. This phrase, we use it with an adjective, such as best-selling, to say that something is the biggest or best ever or in all of recorded history. So what we're saying here is that Thriller has sold the most copies of any album ever released, ever.
就是一直到现在，这张专辑 Thriller 它还是保持在卖的最好的专辑哦。那 of all time 就是有史以来。
All right, so you know, that album is just still the top, right? But he didn't stop with that one. It says here, Michael continued to impress with Bad, the first album to feature 5 #1 hits in the US.
Wow.
Of course, some of these songs were Bad. The Way You Make Me Feel, that was a popular one, and lots of other ones. Now, if we keep going, it says, in total, Michael released 10 celebrated solo albums during his career. Now, one more phrase that we've used here, in total. We use this to say the whole number at the end of something, such as a list, a budget, a career. we can keep going. So over all his solo career, Michael released 10 albums. Once we know that final number, we can say in total.
就是总共的意思啊。And the word celebrated means famous，就是很著名的意思。
Right. Okay, so of course, with Thriller still being the best-selling album, we can say this. Even now, he remains the most awarded pop artist in history. Now, award here is used as a verb. So to award someone with something means to give them a special honor and or prize for something great or special they have done. So here, to be an awarded pop artist means that you have won many Grammy Awards and other music awards and maybe even Oscars. Here's another example. Juliet was awarded the grand prize because her essay was the most well-written.
So award is a verb here， 就是受奖的意思或得到奖项的意思。那在这边当动词哦，我们是用 past participle 过去分词来当形容词用。So it can also be used as a noun. And when it's used as a noun, it means the prize that a person or organization is given for an achievement， 就是你得到的奖项。Okay, so let's take a look at our first sentence here. We can say Jimmy was awarded the prize for good conduct. Jimmy 就是因为表现得很好，所以得到奖项。Or Rosemary got an award for the highest sales at her company. 就是 Rosemary 因为公司销售额最高，得到了奖项。
All right. Well, we've learned all about Michael Jackson and how he kind of became this amazing musician. We do have more to talk about, but we don't have time for it today. So why don't we finish up with today's For You chat?